I'd say this project is coming along just fine. I realized after we finished painting it that I had about a half a can of green left over. So remember, we had 6 cans of green paint, 2 cans of black, put about well, actually both cans of black on it. I thought I'd used all the green paint. It was a little bit light in this section. I think you'll see it in some of the shots. It looks like there's some light areas. So I actually went back, let it dry for 24 hours, and went and laid down another coat on top of the inside of the footwell. Looks a lot better. Looked good before. It looked very good, particularly on camera, but in person, there were some spots that are a little bit light. Now we're going to go ahead and test it with some real water and see what kind of grip properties we have down to the footwells. I think it's an improvement.
Yeah.
I think it really is. If only I had something to do to procrastinate having to fix the motor. How about another box? That last one was fun. This is another fun box. The fun box. Let's see what's in the fun box. Oh, you know what? I will be honest. I've never owned it. I know what's in here. Yeah. Somebody sent me this. Another free sample. Does that bias my opinion? I hope not. I'll try to give it an honest test again. I'll always tell you when somebody sends me free stuff. And if people want to keep sending me free stuff, bring it on, man. That's what I say. All right. This is so cool. Yeah. There we go. Traction mats. Special thanks to my friends at HydroTurf. I told them about this project and they said, yeah, man, we want to be part of that. Send me some stickers and traction mats. So according to the people at HydroTurf, they were the OEM supplier. They provided the original mats to Yamaha. There's a pretty good chance that the mats that I pulled off of this thing that were more than 20 years old and were still stuck down real nicely probably came from HydroTurf. Can you believe this? Got a couple of things I need to do before we can actually stick this on. Got a couple of fittings. This is just a standard hull fitting here. You can use a tie down. It's going to need to be removed. That one I think got broken. And then we've got the pisser here, whatever the real name of it is. So there's the pisser fitting. You come around to the bottom here. There you go. Prior to removing the paper backing, position all mat pieces. This will help ensure proper location and fit. I can do that. It seems to me that it's really not advisable to stick these mats to a removable paint. My new plan is to cut around each of these shapes so that we can stick the mat right down to the fiberglass. Does that seem risky to you? It seems risky to me too. I'm going to try out this technique on a piece of plastic and see if we can actually trace around here, cut the line, and peel the paint back without damaging the surrounding area. That went a lot better than I expected. The lines were clean, and when I put the piece on top, everything lined up just fine. I think we're going to try that on the ski. You just witnessed it. It didn't go as planned. When I did the test piece on plastic, I cut a nice edge. The paint peeled off just fine. That didn't happen on the ski. Now, I had a viewer, Nelvik, that said, if you don't get enough solid layers on it, if you don't have a thick enough coat of the rubber paint on the surface, when you go to peel it off, it's going to come off in little pieces, and that is exactly what happened. Ultimately, by carefully applying the xylene and then using the razor blade, I was able to strip out that section so I had exposed a white surface there. Do I want to do that for all the other surfaces that we're going to stick matte on? Not really. It was pretty labor intensive to do that. Here's the new plan. I'm pretty sure that HydroTurf's manufacturer wouldn't go for this, but I'm going to take those mats and I'm going to stick them down on the paint. And if I do end up removing the paint, I'm going to eventually have to wipe right next to the traction mats, and that's not going to go well because the solvent's going to either leach up underneath it or it's going to damage the traction material itself. So I'm going to ignore the manufacturer's recommendations and I'm going to go ahead and put the traction mats down over the top of the paint. Now before I do that, I'm going to go scrape the surface of the paint to get rid of some of the overspray and thin the layer of paint out to the point where that which remains is really stuck to the hull as much as it possibly can. And then I'll apply the mats and then we'll see what happens. Now here's something interesting. See this back mat? It's longer than the surface. That's because it's designed to be tucked down inside of this rub rail here. What I'm going to have to do is remove a rivet here, 3, 4, looks like a total of 6. Thank you, Yamaha, for putting these little ridges down here that act as a perfect guideline so you can get these mats lined up properly. Try to press it down, make sure we don't have any bubbles. You should be able to hear any bubbles go kind of snap, crackle, pop. You feel them in there. The manufacturer says if there are any bubbles, just take the tip of a penknife and poke it through the surface there and force the air out of the bubble, but I haven't really felt any yet. Maybe because it's a warm day right now. I don't know. It's pretty good. The kit includes these 6 rivets to put the plastic strip back on, and I'm going to add that to the work list for tomorrow as we go back into the ski and do the final steps to get it running so I can turn this thing over to Mike and he can take it out on the water. Thanks again to the folks at HydroTurf for throwing in some mats for this project. Mike, you're making out like a bandit. You get free mats and you get a free paint job. I think that's awesome. For everybody in the audience, if you're interested in HydroTurf mats, they said they'll give you 10% off. Just use the code Vigus, V-I-G-U-S. I don't get anything out of it. You get something out of it. I thought it was pretty nice that they would involve you in this. And now I leave you with gratuitous shots of the finished product and a link to watch more videos.